Detecting Talk of the Day, Friday, May the 3rd, 8:49. Rain. I'm out here in the rain. Day is 2. What you're going to see in this video, I'm going to only use sensitive FT so it would apply to version 1.0, 1.1, and 2.0. I'll go ahead and just do this disclaimer. Iron kit is off. Alright, and we'll show you what we've got here. See that horseshoe there? I got that nail standing up over there, and there's a U.S. nickel. Now, I've done seen some people that's figured this out, sorta. You know, you'll hear people say, oh, I need to hear the iron. I need to hear the iron. Okay. Well, we're going to sweep over this, and I'm going to let you see the difference. Now, what I've done is I've got a sensitive FT no-notch speed 3, silencer 1. Alright. Then I've got a same program, offset at 10 in both. We're using full tones, notch 0 to 7, and I've got 90 to the end notch. See it in the screen there? So that's the difference in these programs. That's it. The notch. Okay, so if you were in the wild running the machine more traditionally with no notch, now I even took the factory notch out of this here. There's no notch. I'm going to let you listen to this nickel here. You hear that? You hear that high tone falsing in that signal as well? Hear that? Now, you swap over that in the wild, what would you suspect? You get to hear that machine. Hear that? Hear that high tone false? Would you think that's a false and walk off? Would you? Alright. Now I'm going to transition to my program I set up with a notch. What does it sound like? You hear that? Would you walk off of that signal? You'd be digging that in the high iron side, wouldn't you? Alright, let's rotate a little more on this. Right there. Now remember, you've got the notch in this machine. You're not hearing the iron range, and you hear that right there. That's the notch program. You hear that? Not the best of signals. Here's the no notch. Alright. Now I'm going to come around here. Now this is the no notch. Now one thing you'll know, remember what I said about the iron kit setting on this machine. Now watch what happens here. Every sweep of that coil, now you're hearing how that detector sounds? It's got a 7 in the meter. Alright, so if you sweep across that, and you glanced at the meter, and you heard that. Now I'm going to the notched program. Every sweep of that coil, you see what pops in that meter? Clean, ain't it, boys? You know, you go into a high iron sight with this machine running no notch, silencer 1, high iron sight, you know, you're in for sort of a ride. You know, sharpshooter uses this equipment. Now, this is just one detecting scenario. You see that old horseshoe half of it there? You see that nail? We'll go back to the no notch. Let's listen some more. You hear that? Would you suspect that's a non-ferrous target? Or just an old piece of flat iron down there? Back to the no notch. You hear that? Remember, I've got the iron range notched on the machine for all practical purposes. clean, ain't it? Listen, that's a lot cleaner than this. No notch. Hear that? Same offset in both. Okay? Now, I'll go ahead and say this too. You know, there are some situations in the wild where you would get falsing. But if there was a non-target there, you wouldn't necessarily hear the falsing, or the falsing would be highly degraded. Okay? So we're going to remove this nickel here. Alright? We're going to sweep this with both programs. This is the no notch. You hear that? Now the nickel's not down there. Alright. This is the notch. You hear that? So what I'm saying is, even in a sight, even if that nickel wasn't there, you've seen this machine picking this nickel up. Here's the no notch. See, we heard something different when that nickel was down there, didn't we? If I go back to the no notch, okay, I get iron tone there, but listen to that mess. So I've got to deal with that, don't I? I've got to hear that. I might even think that's a good signal. I got a 91 in the meter at times. See it there? The no notch, the notch program. You hear that? There ain't no falsing to speak of. Alright. So this could be more of a learner for you. You may have passed up some targets in there that you thought were iron. Let's see what we get here again. What am I in here? I'm in the no notch. Hear that right there? Notch. No notch. You see the difference? Now, I'll go ahead and say this straight up. You know, sharpshooter's not a con artist. What if we sweep from over here? That's the no notch. Alright. This is the notched. Back to the no notch. I'm even going to cheat the coal. Now, I will say this, since I've got this camera running, but I won't show it. I could show part of it, I guess. This is the no notch silencer 1. You hear that? Silencer 2. Now this is sensitive FT. You see that? Your SOL. If I'm gonna have to dial back here right quick. Fast program. Silencer 2. And I'm even going to change it to full tones to keep it an even keel. You hear that? So if you're walking around out here in these high iron sights running this version 1.0 sensitive FT, 1.1, 2.0 at silencer 2, there's targets you can reach with this machine at fast program silencer 2 that you can't hear in silencer 2 in a sensitive FT. Okay? It can happen. You can see it right here. That's the fast program. Silencer 2. And I'm going to lift the nickel up and sweep again. Iron tone. Now, in that situation there you just seen, don't expect to see any positive ID. You're going to be probably locked on like a number 7. Running the fast program at silencer 1 and 2 on that situation. That's going to conclude the detecting talk of the day. DS2 9-inch call version 200 was shown. Have a nice day.